take you for a ride. Here we go!
Woo-wee! You're hanging out with Cousin Cleetus.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now I know what you might be thinking. Hey Feetus, what are you doing with that 1989 Ford F250? And where is the 323 with the Dolly Skyham Supercharger? Well, don't you worry, the 323 is going to be back in another video, but I got something extra special for you today. Absolutely. This 1989 Ford F250 is straight out of my fleet. It's one of my trucks, and it's been very, very good to me. This truck is very solid. It's got great metal. There's no rust in the fenders. It's in excellent condition body-wise. But the paint is nearly falling off of it, and a couple years ago the muffler fell off of it, and I just left it like that because it's not even that loud. You know how I like things to sound a little bit more like race cars, and no matter what type of vehicle we're talking about, you know Feetus loves his 1989 models. I'm going to go ahead and give this truck away absolutely free to one of my beautiful subscribers. Now, you might be wondering, is there some sort of catch? Is this some sort of joke, you know? Because Feetus, you're always messing around on your channel, making jokes and doing pranks and playing around. No, this is serious business here. I am going to absolutely give away this 1989 Ford F250 with a 5-liter motor in it to one of my awesome subscribers. That might be you. Now, it seems to me, when it comes to power adders, there's been some serious things that have been overlooked in the automotive industry. First of all, when anybody's trying to get more air into their motor, they're using like a supercharger or a turbo, something like that, something conventional. But I thought, wait a minute, if the airflow is going in, then the high airflow is coming out, right? It makes sense. How the exhaust, what goes in must come out. So I thought, wait a second though, instead of trying to cram all that air down into the cylinders, what if we just pulled it into the cylinder, like vacuum style? You know, because that's kind of how a motor works in the first place. When the piston's going up and down, when the piston's going down, it creates a vacuum in the chamber, and then of course the intake valve opens up there, and then the airflow from the supercharger comes racing in there and makes all that horsepower. And then of course when it explodes much bigger and has way more horsepower. So what if we were to bring that same amount of air or even more air into the cylinder by sucking it in there like a vacuum cleaner? And then I thought to myself, why don't we just go ahead and actually use the vacuum cleaner? So I went down to my shop and I dusted off my old trusty shop vac. Now of course you might be asking, how on earth, Feetus, are you going to run a vacuum cleaner on a 5-liter motor, and how are you going to power it? Well, I've thought of that, okay? Don't be thinking I'm silly or nothing like that. I went ahead and got the shop vac out, but I also got myself a 1200 watt inverter. That's right. That's right. So I'm going to hook this up to the battery on the truck, and that's going to give me over 1.21 gigawatts of power. And that's going to allow me to get this thing up to 88 miles an hour and warp space-time. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but we'll look into that. But it will give me enough power to run the vacuum cleaner, and then of course if I set up the vacuum cleaner in the right way, I can go ahead and suck air into the cylinders instead of using a supercharger. Okay, so this 1989 Ford F250 has been absolutely incredible. It has never ever let me down. It starts every time. Let's just go ahead and start it up, and you can hear how loud it is. It's not that loud without a muffler. Needs a whole new exhaust system. It's got exhaust leaks just about everywhere. It fires right up every time. See, it's not even that loud. I'm not even talking loud. I'm talking right over it. It's a little louder when you step on the gas, but it's not that loud. I've got an exhaust leak on this side here. You can hear it there. So it sounds a little bit more race car than usual, but not too loud at all. It's actually quite fine, just the way it is. And that's why I never bothered to put one of them big expensive mufflers on it. I just drove it like it is. Got lots of power. No problems with the transmission or nothing. Shifts great, drives great. This truck has been absolutely wonderful to me, and I am going to miss it because you know how much Feetus loves his 1989 models. Now, I'm going to tell you how you can win this Ford F250 with the 5-liter motor, 1989 model. But first, let's go ahead and modify it and give it just a little bit more horsepower, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it away to one of my subscribers. So, first order of business, we got to go ahead and install that inverter. Now, once we got the inverter installed, we can run power to the back of the truck, go ahead and put the vacuum in the back of the truck, run the hose down to the exhaust system, and we're going to be sucking horsepower into that motor like you ain't never seen before. Alright, now let's go ahead and install this unit. Okay, now we got to go ahead and install the vacuum cleaner portion of this power adder. Now I'm going to go ahead and use some high quality electrical tape. This stuff is better than duct tape because this stuff has been designed by a NASA scientist to stop electrical fires dead in its tracks. That's right, if there's sparks or anything going on like that, electrical tape is your best friend. So of course you'd reckon it would be very good for using on an exhaust system because there could be a fire. Alright now, so we'll just go ahead and install this in the exhaust pipe there. And then of course we're going to need some of this here electrical tape. Some high quality electrical tape. This stuff is designed to stop electrical fires dead in its tracks. Alright, and there we go. We'll get a couple more wraps on there. Alright, it's firmly installed. We're ready to make some horsepower. Alright, so now all we have to do is power up the vacuum cleaner and then go ahead and start the truck. Obviously, we're going to be sucking the air into the motor a whole lot faster, and woo-wee! You know what that's going to do? It's going to make more horsepower. So let's go ahead and try this thing out here. Well, the inverter seems to be working just fine and running the vacuum cleaner. Now all I got to do is start up the vehicle and see if it increases the horsepower. Alright, let's go ahead and fire up this 1989 Ford F250 and see if we've created more horsepower. Wow, would you listen to that? It sounds amazing. God, it's never sounded this powerful before. Let's go ahead and take it for a rip. Now, as you can see, I've gone ahead and done an excellent job at hiding the apparatus. Now, I could do this a little better by running this through the fender where I got some other wires, but just to test it out, I went ahead and put it on top and just stuck it in the door here. Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to see that. And then I got it down this side of the door, and of course, I got the vacuum in the back of the truck, which is completely hidden by the canopy here, so no one's going to know I got a power adder. It's going to be a complete sleeper. So then I went ahead and ran the hose out of the window and down the side of the truck, kind of hid it in there, so you can't hardly tell it's there. Damn near invisible to law enforcement officers, I'd say. If you go whizzing by, they're not going to be able to see that. This is another amazing power adder that I have come up with that is completely invisible to law enforcement. Okay, now the vacuum's in the back here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and leave this open so that the exhaust can flow out of the vacuum, blowing it out here as it sucks it in there. And as you can see, I got the wire going through the front window there. And then what I can do, using my engine annuity, is I'm going to add a power bar in there with a switch on it so I can run the vacuum from inside the cab of the truck without having to reach through the window and flip the switch on the vacuum cleaner, which makes my power adder a little more convenient. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave this open when we go ahead and hit the throttle so that we get some exhaust flow coming out the back here. You might see a little bit of smoke or something. Now, the motor doesn't smoke at all, but when you add that horsepower, you could see a little bit of smoke coming out of here. You never know. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that open for now. Now the real question is, Feetus, will it do a burnout? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fire up the vehicle, and then we're going to hit the throttle, and of course we're going to see if this here truck with the power adder running can do a smoky burnout. Here we go. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Sweet honey brisket. Oh my Lord, this thing is just flying. Okay, I gotta slow down here. That's too much power to have in a truck like this. Oh my Lord. Whoever wins this truck is gonna be awfully scared when they drive it because it's too fast. My God, it's got a lot of power. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and park it. I don't want to mess it up now for the new owner. And oh my God, this thing is fast, so what a ripper. Now that we've gone ahead and added 655 horsepower to this bone stock 1989 Ford F250 with a 5-liter motor, I'm going to go ahead and give it away to one of my subscribers. Now, you might be wondering, how is that going to work, Feetus? So now I'm going to tell you how one of my awesome subscribers can win this fine Ford F250 with a 5-liter motor, 1,265 horsepower, 1989 model. First of all, somewhere in this video is a subliminal message, and it's going to tell you exactly how you can win this truck. So go ahead and look for the subliminal message. And when you find it, it's going to tell you how you can win the truck, and there's 2 ways you can win it. I'm not going to tell you anymore. You got to look for the subliminal message. So that's it for today's video. I'd like to thank you for watching. Look out for snails. I'll trip and see you later.